Live from New York.
This guy.
It's the show that is a little bit excited about Russell Westbrook. I am.
I'm indifferent.
Why are you indifferent? How can you be indifferent? Oh, your feelings are hurt about Bruce Clippers?
Yeah, probably.
No.
That's probably it. You probably know. Bruce also literally, for all we know, got to work 6 minutes ago. We're not sure.
Well, I got here as late as possible, so I didn't have to hear you guys talking about God knows what.
Let's go.
First things first. But we're starting with a concept. Now, in practicality, Dak has a no-trade clause, but the larger story here
Let's
is
just
that,
overlook that.
Yeah,
For the sake of
good story. Larger story is that the Cowboys legend Charles Haley says that Dallas should trade their franchise QB. I mean, it's actually complimentary.
It is yeah, he's saying that because they haven't paid him, they don't respect him enough, so just trade him. But go ahead, sorry.
I wrote react.
Okay, so
You put
this
a lot into that.
man.
Really working hard. Wow.
I think this actually would have been the move. The Cowboys are Wildes hates mimes, injustice, and half measures.
Yeah, not in that order.
And right now, the Cowboys are, in my opinion, operating under a half measure with Dak.
They're going to do a mime.
No, they're not miming with Dak. They're where they haven't paid him, but they're still seemingly committed to him.
Yes.
But they are clearly anxious about making him the highest, or even maybe second highest, but certainly the highest paid player in league history. And if you unwind this to before the draft, would the Pittsburgh Steelers have given you 3 first-round picks for Dak Prescott? I think so. I think that with you look at the Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson trades as somewhat of precedent. Would the Raiders have given you 3 first-round picks for Dak Prescott? I think so. Would your New England Patriots have given up the 3rd overall pick and something else to have stability at the quarterback position after being out in the wilderness? Maybe the Patriots just wanted a full reset, but but you understand what I'm saying.
I get it.
And the Cowboys then could have taken care of their other financial business with that draft compensation, gotten a rookie quarterback of their own, or spent this year, whether it's playing Bruce guy Cooper Rush, or he's your guy. You were flirting with let Cooper keep the job a couple years ago.
Ever.
Check the tape, guys. You were flirting with it, or play Trey Lance, whatever it is, for a year while you figure out if you're going to get on the rookie quarterback wage scale kind of cycle. But they didn't, Brew, even have the opportunity to consider that, because the original sin with Dallas is that first contract extension they gave him, they were afraid to give him. So they waited, and he got a no tag and a no trade, and now they are in this position where even if they are not fully in love with him, they're terrified of losing him for nothing, but they don't hold the ability to just, see what the market is for him. So now they're in this spot. But I think what Charles Haley is saying is actually smart, but the Cowboys didn't have the capability to even engage in those discussions.
Well, and assuming Haley means they should trade him before the season starts, that's not happening. All right, I see very little chance of that happening. In fact, what I think is far more likely is that Jerry caves and gives Dak the contract that he wants, all right? And I have felt all off season that they are saying, you know what, look at the 49ers. They got Mr. Irrelevant at quarterback. They're stacked everywhere else, and they keep beating us in the playoffs, and they got to the Super Bowl. And I thought they were saying, Dak, go out and get us at least to the NFC title game, and if you do, we'll bring you back. If not, we're going the Niners route. I'm not so sure now that that's what they're doing.
Okay.
I actually think this is just par for the course with Dallas, where they continue every single negotiation, it seems. They wait too long. Remember when Dak, the talk was, should they give him $26 million a year? Is he worth that? And then they end up giving him 40 because they wait so long. And Ezekiel Elliott, it just happens time and time again.
Zeke, they actually paid too early. Zeke, they paid as
But my point is he held out, and then Jerry caves and gives him this huge deal. And that's what I think is going on. I'm actually starting to think, they still are committed to Dak. They just, are twiddling their thumbs like they usually do. What are they saying with CD? We want to let the
more leads fall.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous, and it keeps costing them money. And so I don't think they're trading Dak. Look, some of it maybe could be what happens with Trey Lance. I think they are watching him strongly. I do think, and I really don't know where you got the Cooper Rush stuff with me.
I was mostly kidding.
Right.
But when Dak hurt his thumb and he played
no. But Cooper Rush is 5-1 with the Cowboys. So I think Jerry Jones.
I knew it. I know you like it.
No, I think Jerry may be looking at that and saying, we're 5-1 with Cooper Rush.
Right. That's
Trey Lance, he's obviously working with Mahomes, his quarterback coach. So maybe I think they are watching him closely in practice.
Well, they have to because they don't have a quarterback under contract for next season. Not this coming season, for next season. They don't have They don't have Trey. They don't have Cooper. Now they could obviously bring back Trey or Cooper very cheaply. But if they wanted to trade Dak, that ship has sailed because can't trade him after the year because he's not on your roster after the year. But go ahead, Wildes.
No, so suppose they did trade Dak last year or at the draft or in the offseason. You think Jerry would be okay going 7-10?
I don't think that's.
9 and.
Go ahead.
8.
Why are you saying
I just think I don't want. Why you were 12-5? Why are you getting off the 12-5 train?
Well, no. So the idea because
you can't get first. You haven't been getting first.
Well, you're going to go backwards.
Are you willing to pay him $60 million?
So I don't think, and I disagree with the idea that in today's NFL, going young at quarterback means you're going backwards. Sometimes it does, but. What we have seen more than ever as of late is guys, when their first opportunity is starting, when they've got it, you know it. Now there is, and this isn't a shot at him, there is to me, Josh Allen's more of an exception. When he first got his opportunity, he struggled mightily, and then he became a star. But Justin Herbert was 90% of what he is now as a rookie. Jordan Love, it took him a month and a half of playing.
He was a lot different.
Well,
when we first saw him, I know it was in small
for one
pieces.
game when Rodgers had COVID against the Chiefs.
Don't you think he looked completely different?
I do, but I also think that that's because you're not getting starter reps. They're not building it around you. Like CJ, I think
we don't know fully what Trevor is. I mean, we know he's good, but do we know he's good or great? We're not sure about that.
That's totally fair. I'm not saying it's everybody, but once upon a time, my point was the thought process in the NFL was, oh man. Drafted a quarterback. If he plays as a rookie, even if he's Peyton Manning, you're going to go 3-13 like Peyton did or whatever they but to me that's not the case anymore. Offenses, there is enough way to game an offensive system to make it plug and play for a quarterback like it was for Dak as a rookie. You know what I mean? When they went 13-3, and so I don't think they would be looking at it as we're punting on everything. Forget the fake trade of this offseason. If next year they don't have Dak Prescott, but they have all this talent around him, and they end up going with a young quarterback either through the draft or if they see something in Trey in this offseason. I don't think that's giving up on things. I don't think it wasn't giving up on things when the Niners, let's just forget Purdy so we don't have to argue about it. The Niners opted into going with Trey and thinking, you know what, now that didn't work out. It kind of did because of Brock, but whatever. But they didn't think, well, now we're going to be 6-10. They thought we are going to keep this thing rolling with this rookie quarterback that we just drafted.
No, but that may have been one of the worst decisions of all time that they just got bailed out on.
Purdy saved them.
Well, okay, but maybe so. But then just pretend they drafted Purdy 3rd overall. The point is, it's still a rookie quarterback or a second-year quarterback that you are plugging into an existing system, and it's working. It's what the Colts think is going to happen this year with Anthony Richardson. They won 9 games last year. They think they're going to be good this year with him.
Okay. Meanwhile, FoxSports.com reporting that the Cowboys are the most bet-on team to go under their win total, which is set at 9.5. And now, to their credit, Brew, the Cowboys have consistently over-delivered. Only the Cowboys and the Steelers have gone over their win total in each of the last 3 seasons. So do you expect the Cowboys to over or under-deliver this year?
Okay, I'm going to say I think they're a 10-win, maybe 11-win team. So that over. Technically would be over.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I'm viewing that as under because they've won. No, here's why. because they've won their 12 games in each of the last 3 years. They are still S-Bob. I mean, Micah Parsons just said it the other day.
Well, he said S-Bond, to be fair. But
so
yes.
My point is, even if you go over 9.5 wins, I don't care. I don't bet, all right? So
well,
I don't care.
That's kind of the crux
10 wins is taking a step backwards. And that's what I think they'll do. I don't think I think they're a 10-win team, so that's over. But they will take a step back and not be as good as they were last year.
So listen,
that's
makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
It makes sense, but it also
you don't want to agree with me, but you know what? I'm nuanced. I don't just think in black and white. I got nuance.
You don't want to say the Cowboys will overachieve, which is your answer. So you're finding a way to say them hitting
they've had a horrible. I really think. Under 12 wins and not really a contender anymore is a step back.
Okay, but then I guess you would agree then, if we rephrase this slightly, the market and the public has overreacted to how much of a step back they took. If the number's 9.5 and it's the most bet under, that means folks think this is going to be a 9-win team. Right. You think that's an overreaction. Yeah. You think that the Cowboys will still be a double-digit win team, but they're not headed in the right direction, that they're going the other direction.
Right.
I think that analysis is totally fair. I think I think this number, I think betting the Cowboys to go under 10 wins, I think is a dumb bet. I think like most,
it's hard to
when they were the number 1 offense in football last year, the number 5 defense in football, they had the number 2 point differential. Brew focused all his attention on the tomato cans thing, which was a fun bit, but here's what's also true. 2 teams in the NFC total, the Niners and the Eagles, had more wins against playoff teams than the Cowboys last year. 2 total. This idea that there's a lot of teams that just beat 7 playoff teams over the course of the year, they don't. Every team.
Tomato cans is more about margin of victory.
Yeah, they were
and all
stomping.
that stuff.
I get that, but the idea that they couldn't beat good teams, my point is they beat Philly, they beat the Rams, they beat Detroit. That's